I made lots of mistakes on people. I hired people in the early days, I hired them almost always on resumes and slickness, which is probably inversely proportional to talent. So I did a number of these things on a fairly frequent basis, but I talked about it. I think the thing is, talking about what your mistakes are helps an organization enormously. Yeah. It allows them to feel...
A boss's entire job is to get the combined intellect of his team to be raised to a new level and to instill spirit. Find every way to celebrate. Find every excuse to have a party. Every little victory counts.
Market. I think innovation's all around you. You see or smell something that somebody else is doing. You adapt it to your place and take it to new levels. That's a breakthrough for your company. And the process never stops. And if you've got a company that has a mentality inside that is filled with searching for a better idea every day, not just as a slogan, but as a real concept, you will have innovation around you all the time. Six Sigma, if the amount of savings I was presented in the course of Six Sigma were all added up, it would have been larger than the GDP of the United States. So, I mean, the PowerPoint slides can accumulate enormous events. So all these things are hyped to an extent, but they gotta be. You cannot make change with rational behavior. You cannot make change by, like, let's have a quality program. Quality is good, everybody. Let's go at it. Let's make sure our customers feel good with our quality. You guys say, no, our quality stinks. We've got to improve it dramatically. Only the best people can be on it. Half of our offices by the year 2005 will have been black belts in quality. The stock options and the awards are going to those leading the efforts. And you've got to be a maniac about it. If you're sitting there comfortable in what you're doing, you can be sure with your nice awards of number one here, number one here, number one Zagat, and number one this one, number one that one. Somebody's out there waiting to pluck you, and you can't get comfortable. Look, any jerk in the world can squeeze all day and say, talk to me in 5 years about my growth. Or anybody in the world can say, I'm dreaming. Please, I'm not going to make any numbers for a while. You can squeeze or you can dream, but a manager does both. A leader does both. You dream and you squeeze. You eat while you dream. And it's no getting around. That's why you're paid. Any jerk can do one or the other. But it's your job to make those trade-offs. You got to see everyone as a mentor. Your whole crowd, somebody who works for you might be a mentor. I remember when I became CEO, I was not a great financial wizard. I never did become a financial wizard, but at least I had this fellow who worked for me, 10 years my junior, 33 years old, who I made CFO. He basically dumped his brain into mine. The biggest problem I find with young MBAs, at first, the job is you shining, raising your hand, having the answers. They want to do that all the time. They just got out of school. They want to show you how smart they are. Now, the transition to manager, it all changes. It's about growing your people, not you. You grow from the reflected glory of your people. So it's all about making them flourish. I like to use the line that your job is walking around with a can of water in one hand, a can of fertilizer in the other hand, sprinkling it on the seeds and watching them grow. You'll get some weeds, and you got to pull those weeds out. So everyone's not going to flourish, but you've got to be thinking about all the time, loving to see your people thrive. And that's what you want to do. You always want to over-deliver. Never do what the assignment is. Do more than that. Wider, new insights, new horizons. Well, if you're a leader, you clearly have to demonstrate it. You have to be open. You have to be able to admit mistakes. You have to be able to cut through the businessese. You've got to be able to talk to every person in your organization in such a way that they know where they stand. No one can be a manager without, no one can call themselves a manager and have employees working for them when the employees don't know exactly where they stand, where they are relative to others, and where they're going in their career. When you're debating a deal, you've got to have an atmosphere where everybody gets it on the table. Not massive PowerPoint slides, numbing charts that put people to sleep, but really dialogue, face-to-face, eyeball-to-eyeball confrontation about why the deal works or doesn't work. And you demonstrate that yourself.